I'm Nia. If you're just entering the market and have no idea where to begin, that's completely normal. Fear, doubts, fear of messing up, we all go through that. But in just a couple of minutes, you'll see how to start with confidence, avoid major early mistakes, and not blow up your account in one day. Today, I'll walk you through one of my strategies step by step, no extra theory, just real examples. Ready? Let's dive in. Today, we are going to analyze the market with you using a simple technique. And first, let's get started with setting up the workspace. First of all, set the time frame to 5 seconds and the expiry time to 15 seconds. Then we will add a tool that we will have at the core of our analysis and decision making, and actually add the moving average and change the period to 24. Let's get started. Here we see an upward movement along the moving average. From this, I open a position in the direction of this movement. It's pretty obvious. There, that's great. This deal is working out in the plus. We see the moving average, and in fact, from it, we can open a trade on the rise. We can see that the moving average is a support level in case of an upward movement, and a resistance level in case of a downward movement. Let me move on. We see an upward movement in the indicator and in the price. Because of this, I open a trade up and wait for the result. Great. In this situation, we see the usual situation on the chart. Exactly the same as the previous case, an upward movement of the moving average and an upward movement of the price. We're clear on that. Let's move on. Here, I boldly open a trade down and wait for the expiration time because we have two strong downward movement without any signs of reversal. And this is the kind of situation that you have to take advantage of. All right, folks, in principle, we act according to the trend. We do not invent anything new. We see a downward movement of the indicator, open a deal downwards, and in fact, fix this position. The main thing is to pay attention to the behavior of the indicator in time. When I started, everything felt incredibly complex, like trying to solve a puzzle with no clues. I didn't know how to read the market or make smart decisions, but over time, I built up a solid set of methods and strategies that help me see the bigger picture. And in my community, those same methods become a clear guide for people just starting out. I won't promise instant wins, but I'm sure some of these tools will help you take your first real steps. Want to know more? The link is in the description. I'm moving on. Here we see the beginning of a reversal movement on the moving average, and in fact, I open a position up, waiting for the expiration time. It's going well. What we have seen here is that there was a downward movement, after which a reversal was formed in this zone, and right here, in fact, our moving average started to increase, and there was an upward movement which I caught. Write in the comments if you have any questions about this strategy. Moving on, here we see a very strong seller's pressure. The chart tried to show an upward movement, but it failed. So I opened the trade down for continuation of the global downward movement and wait for the expiry time. We see a downward movement of the indicator. There has been a slight correction. This correction did not consolidate above the moving average. This is where further downward movement occurred. Just to know how to read a chart and get results. More than 17,000 people have already joined my community, and they're not just there to learn, they're here to take action. Each new session brings a fresh batch of entry points you can follow right alongside me. This isn't theory, it's practical knowledge that helps you see things work in real time. It's like stepping into a workshop where you're learning the real craft. Want to get involved? The link's in the description. I'm moving on. I open a bold trade down immediately because the trend is our friend here, and the trend is down. So I'm opening down too. Then a lot of experience, it intuitively becomes clear. Great. Moving on, we see an upward movement in the indicator and it is on it. Paying attention to the indicator that we open upwards, there's not even any doubt about the success of this deal. Great. Basically, we had an upward movement here, followed by a small correction and further upward movement. Also, our indicator has always been directed upwards as well. Successful market situations today. What we see here is that the global move is upward, followed by a small correction. The moving average indicator is again pointing to an upward movement. Because of this, I opened a position up, waiting for the end of the trade. When you're just starting out, everything can feel like a foreign language, charts like riddles, terms like code. I've been there. Every trader has. I've got years of experience behind me now, but what matters most is how I help others understand this language without needing a dictionary. In my community, I don't just talk about strategies, I show step-by-step actions you can take right away. Even if you're a total beginner, you can follow along and learn how it works through doing. Ready to start? Everything opens, check the link below. It was a very small movement, but it was in our favor. I'm glad to hear that. Basically, we see momentum, correction, momentum, small correction again, then momentum again, correction and further upward movement. It's all kind of controlled by the moving average. That is, we can observe it because to us, the moving average shows the movement itself. See? And we have to use this sliding scale and know how to work with it. I'm moving on. Here we see a strong downward movement. From this, I open a trade down because the moving average is also directed downwards and it remains only to be on the same wave with it. Good day, friends. You see, further movement was actually present here as well, but unfortunately, it didn't work out so perfectly. Nevertheless, the deal worked out in our favor. I'll move on. Here we see the beginning of a reversal move to the upside. From this, I open a position also upwards and wait for the expiry time. Great. Pretty straightforward deal. Seen here as a downward move, a correction, a downward move again, and in this situation, the formation of an upward movement. Opened upwards from the level of the moving average and closed successfully. Perfect. That's how it turned out to analyze the market today using moving average indicator. The market pleased me and so did the methodology. What did you think? That's all for today. If this approach felt right to you, then maybe now is the perfect time to take the next step. There's a link under this video. You'll find not just strategies, but clear proven tools that can help you build your own path forward. Maybe today is where it really begins. See you in the next video.